What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and the fast food, I guess really the restaurant apocalypse continues. Yesterday, I covered a story about how a McDonald's location got so desperate that they were charging customers for bags. I know you're all going to make fun of how I say bag. I live in the Midwest, okay? That's how I say the word. At least I say milk and not milk, or pillow and not pillow. Could be worse. 15, they were charging 15 cents for a bag that almost certainly cost them less than that. So not only were they charging for the bag, but they were profiting off of it. Didn't want to pay for one, didn't want to pay extra for a bag that you already paid insane amounts for the food you bought. They hand you everything loose out of the window. Here's your large fry. Hope it doesn't spill over. Here's your burgers for your kids. I guess chuck them on the seat next to you. Throw them in your glove compartment. Throw them in your throw them up out of your dash to keep them warm. It was insanity. And now, today, even worse, more restaurant chains set to close down. And now many of you know or remember that Red Lobster had previously claimed bankruptcy after what could only be described as the dumbest, greediest management in history. First and foremost, people stopped eating at Red Lobster. Second, they had an endless shrimp promotion that was losing them money. But without the endless shrimp promotion, no one came into the restaurant. And third, and perhaps most egregiously, their ownership sold all the land underneath them and rented it back to themselves at an exorbitant price to just shift profit around. Oh, and they were also purchased by a company that sold shrimp that dumped all its worst shrimp product off on American consumers. Now, Red Lobster planning the closure of another 135 restaurants if landlords won't give in to the chain's demands. Red Lobster is ready to close another batch of more than 100 restaurants if it's unable to renegotiate cheaper rent with its landlords. The seafood chain abruptly closed 93 out of its 700 restaurants back on May 13th, and the following week filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy in hopes of restructuring their debts. New court documents reveal that there are another 135 restaurants that bosses say will keep losing money if the leases stay the same. Restaurant Business reported the option is for the company to pay less rent or shut them down. Well, I mean, they signed that lease agreement. I just don't understand why it's the landlord's fault that you're a big dummy. I don't understand it. To keep the iconic Times Square location of the company, which claims the time to keep open. Wait, they include the iconic Times Square location. Why would you eat at Red Lobster in Times Square? There's a million better restaurants. The restaurant's landlord is reportedly doubling the location's rent to $2.2 million a year, posing a threat to the 22-year-old lease. Red Lobster has just a few weeks to agree to a deal with the landlord, as a new lease is set to begin June 30th. The decision to include the high-profile location on its list of rejected leases could be a way to exert pressure on the landlord, bankruptcy attorney Patrick Collins told the Post. I don't think anyone's going to care if Red Lobster closes in Times Square. I don't think anyone cares if Red Lobster closes in general. It's just not a thing Americans really think about. Most of the time I see Red Lobster stories or people talking about Red Lobster, it's a story about their managers or servers hovering over customers with kids and threatening them if they give any money. If they dare to give a shrimp to their children, that they'll kick them out of the restaurant. That's normally what I see. People talking about horrible experiences at that restaurant. Its current problems, of course, have been blamed on rising lease and labor costs in recent years and its infamous $20 all-you-can-eat shrimp deal that backfired. Well, just get rid of the deal or raise the price. I don't understand that. If you offer a deal, let's say I'm offering some deal to coffee brand coffee people, right? You guys know I have a coffee company. It's the best coffee company around, I believe. Our coffee's roasted fresh on demand. Promo code The Quartering to save. If you went to coffeebrandcoffee.com and I was offering some insane deal that I was losing money on, it'd be very easy for me to stop that deal or restructure that deal. I don't even understand how people are saying, this is, they had to keep offering it. No, they didn't. Another restaurant chain shuts down nearly 50 locations in California following the minimum wage hike up to $20 an hour. Rubio's Coastal Grill, a California Mexican restaurant chain, announced a closure of 48 restaurants in the Golden State amid rising business costs. The LA Times reported the chain decided to shutter nearly a third of its restaurants following a review of operations and the current business climate. While painful, the store closures are a necessary step to a strategic long-term plan to position of Rubio's success for years to come. The company will operate its 86 remaining locations around California, Nevada, and Arizona. I never even heard of it. Ralph Rubio, who started the business, did not disclose how many employees were let go. The company said the locations were, quote, underperforming. The decision comes 2 months after California implemented its $20 minimum wage price increase for fast food employees. Other restaurant chains have struggled amid wage hikes, inflation, and other negative factors, Joe Biden, that have compounded since the lockdowns. Last month, seafood chain Red Lobster chain, we just talked about that. They just closed another 100 locations, right? Several fast food locations terminated workers ahead of the $20 minimum wage law increase that took place on April 1st. Some eateries, particularly pizza chains, began cutting jobs in an effort to avoid possible financial repercussions. The wage law applies to workers in fast food chains with 60 or more locations around the nation. So what does this mean? Well, they closed 48 locations. They continue to operate 86. I suspect they're going to close 27 of those so they can get below that. I don't have any problem, by the way. I don't have any problem with, people earning money, right? Like, people should earn what they're worth. But quite frankly, that's not what happens. You raise the minimum wage and they just pass that cost on to the consumer. And the consumer says, I'm not paying $17 for tacos, and the restaurant closes, and those people who got that $20 an hour pay raise are out of work. We've seen that happen in California. We saw that happen in Portland, Seattle. Everywhere where they institute these gigantically high minimum wages, it's a negative backfire. In December, Southern California Pizza Company announced layoffs of 841 drivers across the state. The moves will also impact Pizza Hut locations in LA, Orange County, San Bernardino, Riverside, and Ventura counties. Supporters of the minimum wage law have said that many fast food workers and restaurants are not teenagers working their first job. And imagine being portrayed by opponents, or as an image being portrayed by opponents, they claimed. Well, that's probably true. And look, I don't think picking up an extra shift or two at the local restaurant is necessarily, it doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you a failure. It makes you a grinder. You're working hard. But the expectation that you're going to support a family working at Red Lobster is absurd. Giving these people a $20 minimum wage mandate isn't helping them. In another embarrassment for McDonald's, McDonald's loses Chicken Big Mac trademark in Europe amid dispute with Irish fast food chain. McDonald's was stripped of its trademark rights to the Chicken Big Mac in European Union after not using the name for 5 consecutive years. The region's second top court said on Wednesday the decision by Luxembourg-based General Court was a partial win for its Irish rival Supermax in a long-running trademark dispute with the Chicago-based food giant. The evidence was submitted by McDonald's does not provide any indication to the extent of the use of the mark in relation to those goods. So now there's no Chicken Big Mac. I didn't even know that Chicken Big Mac was a thing. For me, I never understood the Big Mac. Can the Big Mac fans report down below, why do you want 3 buns? I mean, I understand a double patty, a double quarter pounder, or like a McChicken with double patties. That I understand. Why do you want extra bread? I don't understand that. Bread's the worst part of the sandwich. I'll never understand you, Big Mac people. Of course, Burger King now desperately relaunching a $5 combo meal, entering value meal competition against McDonald's and Wendy's. Wendy's, it's a fast food price war. And now there's new McCheapest map helps fast food lovers get the sweetest deal on their McDonald's burger. The tasty truth is out on Big Mac price differences at McDonald's locations across the United States thanks to a new digital map. Entrepreneur Sasha Fournier is the man who created the McCheapest app to display how much McDonald's locations nationwide are currently charging for Big Macs. The green dots on the McCheapest map represent the best Big Mac deals, while red labeled areas are selling the burgers at high prices, according to the New York Post. Well, interestingly, I mean, look at this. This is wild. You'll be loving to have this new hack. Big Macs in the United States range from $3.49, which is actually a fair price, to $8.09, which is insane. The McCheapest app is the brainchild of this innovator. It tracks the price of Big Macs at all locations. Why the hell are Big Macs so expensive in Arizona? I-90 drivers stopping at Lee, Massachusetts McDonald's pay $8.09 for a Big Mac, according to the map. They're going to the cheapest Mickey D's, pay less than half of what the burger at Lee costs in Sigler, Oklahoma. The franchise slings Big Macs for $3. By the way, why are they charging different prices in different cities? That just feels scummy. It's like, oh, people have a little bit more money here, we're going to charge you more for the same burger you're getting everywhere else. That alone would make me not want to, give these idiots my money. Restaurant chain shuts down nearly 50 locations. The minimum wage increase to $20 an hour is obviously having a crushing effect on fast food. McDonald's continues to get humiliated by having their prices under heavy scrutiny, and they just continue to not want to do the deal, not want to do what they need to do, which is lower the cost of their product so people can actually afford to eat it. Nobody chooses to eat fast food. Fast food is convenient. Burger King relaunching its $5 combo meal is great. An extra value meal, a burger, fries, and a soda should be under $6. I don't want to hear about all your exceptions. And by the way, I still expect it to be a decent quality burger, fries, and soda, and a decent quality service. That's what I'm willing to pay for a McDonald's burger. If that thing is more than $10 for an extra value meal, I'll go to a real burger joint. I'll go to some place where, actually you can get actually good food. McDonald's has a real problem. Red Lobster closing another 100 locations. The taco joint is closing 50 locations. Do you think this is good? Pizza Hut closing locations. All of this is post-lockdown boom. They were getting rich off people, price gouging people, and now people have had enough. I can't say I care. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.